How did you come to understand the diagnosis? What helped this process?
I don't really know what helped me understand the diagnosis. I reckon it was just time, just taking time to think about it. I was quite young in my eyes when I got diagnosed. I was about 13, like barely 13, and I just didn't know what else to do. It was just something that happened because I felt like I was quite young, but I was mature in a way. It's weird, it was complicated, but it was really just time. I feel like research kind of damaged the process and helped it. You kind of get two different opinions when it comes to something like autism. You either get like, oh, this is a disability and your mind is different. You're not smart, like you're different. Or you get, oh, autism is great and it's a superpower and it's so cool and it's awesome if you have it. And it's just like two different sides of the coin. It was like very complicated to hear. And I was just like, oh, this is dumb. I don't like this. I don't care about this research. I'm just who I am. But like you find that middle ground with like podcasts and articles and websites that could definitely help the parents, and it definitely helped my mum and my dad in a way to understand me and who I am and like what needs to be done.
And we had a really, I can't remember at what stage it was, but it was a really good chat. And Paige sent me a YouTube video of what it's like for an autistic person in a really busy shopping center. I used to always have to do things really quickly in the shops because I knew that we had a time limit before you would.
Shut down.
Yeah, you sent me this video and it had all of these extra sounds and it had the bright lights and it was really overwhelming. And then the person's trying to ask them a question and you're like, this is what it's like for me. It's so hard. And I really did like the Yellow Ladybugs book. And they did a podcast. I think it's just made a comeback. And it was really great because it talked about the primary school years and the kids that were always a bit different or that didn't necessarily get invited to the birthday parties, and your heart breaks and you think, it's me as a parent, I need to get really good friends with the other parents, that's why my kid's not getting included. But it's not, every parent kind of looks at what they're doing. So Yellow Ladybugs was really helpful.
Can you share a bit about how the diagnosis impacted your own understanding of what was happening for you?
My mind was very extreme. Like the thing I was certain about is that there was something wrong with me my whole life. Like I just wasn't a normal kid. I struggled a lot. Like it was just my mind was extreme and I was like, what is wrong with me? I don't know who I am and I feel like I have multiple masks. What is this? Oh, it's got to be something like, dissociative identity disorder. I can't figure it out. I keep on having these weird, like, these weird breaks and these weird, like, mood swings. Oh, it's got to be bipolar. And, like getting diagnosed with autism, I was still so mad at the world because it felt like so much more was wrong with me. There was so much more going on. It's just like I needed those answers and I was going crazy, basically. I felt like I was going crazy. There was too much going on. Like I just got diagnosed with ADHD, and in my eyes, still ADHD is a disability. It's hard to live with. It's so hard to live with for me personally. And it's like it is a disability to me. Autism isn't, but ADHD definitely is. And getting it was just like so hard. Like that was definitely harder than autism. I needed answers as much as I could, and no one was giving it to me except for these blanket terms like ASD, and I just needed something specific to know what was up. But, I just can't have that right now. I'm too young. Explosive reactions could have just been being young, going through puberty. We don't know.
We've got to give it time.
Got to give it time. And I feel good now, but there's still some like, things I want to be answered, but I just lost that resentment that I used to have. I meet people with autism and they're just nothing like me. And I meet people with autism and they're just like me.
But not a perfect match.
It's just, yeah, everything's different. And, like, that's why I feel like stepping back and talking to your child and getting your child to open up about their experience is better than any research, because the research is just more about like the blanket of it all. But like what's really important is how your child is, how their mind works,
Mm.
not how autism works in general.
What, if anything, did having a diagnosis lead to for you?
It helped not much. I mean, it was just something new. The big part where how it helped was that the school would refuse to help without it. They were like, your child is normal. Without a diagnosis, we can't do anything. So get a diagnosis and show us. And then we got the diagnosis and showed the school, and it just felt like I was immediately treated differently. Like I was actually disabled. And I guess in a way I was, in a way I wasn't. But it just felt bizarre to be treated like that. Like, you know, I just wasn't normal. It was very difficult. Like, people went easy on me, people went hard on me, people didn't know how to treat me.
And also with supports, Paige was approved for NDIS this year because in particular, Paige needs occupational therapy to get her ready for the world. And we're going every fortnight at the moment. And again, having NDIS for that has been like we couldn't afford it otherwise, so just to be honest. And also we've got funding for Paige to see a support worker 3 hours a week, which will be great. So just to say it's really overwhelming. You think I can't afford this, but we are a very low income earning family and we haven't been put out financially in that respect.
What do you wish other people knew about your experiences with diagnoses, systems, and understanding yourselves?
Common sense, the capability to not be rude, just be a nice person. Like, why are you so mean? Like, why are you treating me like I'm a different person? Why can't you just act normal around me? Because I'm still human. I'm not like an alien. Just treat me normally. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's a lot with dealing with people your own age and peers and things like that. Yeah. I think for me, through the whole diagnosis process is that people just learn and listen and believe you. So many people question you and your choices, and even Paige went on medication for depression, which I really do think it saved her life. It's just exhausting when people question your own decisions as a parent for your child's well-being and safety. I just wish they knew that we as a family don't come to decisions just on a whim or easily. It's really hard. And when you start to share with people your experience, and I had a good friend who questioned my decision to put Paige on medication, it just makes you want to pull back then and just not talk to people about it because you just feel so unsupported and you think, why would you question me and make it then my mental load to teach you why I made the decision that I made,
It's just like, oh, your child's on like antidepressants? You're poisoning your child. Like, what are you doing? She's so young. Like, can't you just like let her figure it out? It's probably just like hormones that's making her so depressed. Why are you like pumping chemicals into her? Everyone was hesitant to put me on like antidepressants. It definitely saved my life. I just needed it and it's helped me, and that's all that matters. It needed to be done and it was done and it helped, and that's all that matters. You can just understand that.
They're not in your shoes. Like the amount of medical appointments and the road that we went down to even get to the point of a prescription being written was long and tough and upsetting. Like you don't just walk into a doctor's one day and say, hey, can you put my 14-year-old on antidepressants? And they go, oh, yeah, sure, here's the script. Like it doesn't work that way. It's actually a very long process before you get to that point. And I've definitely lost a friendship over it because people are so judgmental of your decisions as a parent. I really struggle with that, but I've had to let that go in a way that knowing what I'm doing is it's not just taken lightly in any way. So I wish people knew how hard it is. That's what I wish.
Like, I feel like just try your best to put yourself into the other person's shoes. Try to understand what it's like for them. That's really important.